Hello and welcome back to another edition of the Medeek Foundation plugin. My name is Nathaniel P. Wilkerson, and today I wanted to talk about anchor bolts. So I've recently made some updates to the stem wall and the slab-on-grade modules, and I've enabled some changes to the anchor bolts. So let's go ahead and just get started here and throw down a slab-on-grade to show what that's all about. So we'll go ahead and click the slab-on-grade tool. And we're going to go ahead and use a polygon, but we're actually just going to draw a rectangular slab-on-grade here. So I'm going to go ahead and just stretch out here and just get a small garage structure. All right. And then I'm just going to go ahead and leave the anchor bolts default. I'm just going to turn the reinforcement off right now. We'll just leave all the defaults here that we've got. Okay, so there's our typical slab-on-grade, and most of you that use the plugin and the foundation plugin, know kind of how this kind of lays things out. So now we're just going to go ahead and throw some walls on here because actually I want to show what happens with these typical garage door situations, right? So let's go ahead and put that over there. Put some exterior walls up real quick. Okay, and just jump around this here. Sorry, my mouse is being a little funny. All right, and we'll just terminate right there with 4 walls. Okay, and so now lastly, let's just go ahead and throw a garage door in there. So kind of a typical garage door with a small garage. Okay, so now let's go ahead and turn off some of these layers here or tags just so we can kind of see what's going on here under the hood with the framing and the anchor bolts. So I'm going to go turn off the wall cladding. I'm going to turn off this wall sheathing. And I think that works pretty well. Okay, so what you can see here is typically what we end up with is something like this. Where we don't have any doors, everything's fine. And it's laying things out in a conventional sort of manner, but now you notice we've got an anchor bolt here which is in the way of the door, and there's one here actually that's sitting right in the middle of the trimmer and the king stud. So obviously those are not right, and we want to be able to correct that. So and up until now, there really wasn't any way to correct that other than just to manually edit this foundation, this slab, and delete those or move those, and you could do that. The only problem is, of course, is if you do that and then you regen the slab, the slab-on-grade, sorry, you end up resetting everything, of course, and then they get put back to where they were. So it kind of has never been, easy to take care of that situation. So let's go ahead and I'm going to edit this slab. And now you're going to notice here under the anchor bolt options, we now have a remove anchor bolt and add anchor bolt. Okay, and you have some more details here on these little tooltips here that will show you exactly how to do that, but I'm going to go ahead and show you that right now. So the reason why I did use the polyline or polygon instead of the rectangle, by the way, you have the same option with the rectangular foundation, but if you use the polygon one, which I think is probably better, depending on which way you circle around will depend on which foundation side has been assigned to each one of these sides. So you'll notice here if you click into this foundation and then select this anchor bolt, and let's take a look at the entity properties, you'll notice that anchor bolt number is 1-2. Okay, so every anchor bolt has the side of the foundation it's situated on, or the edge, and then the number starting from the left and working toward the right, right? So like for instance, this anchor bolt right here, this is going to be 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-4. Okay, so the point is that now if I want to get rid of this anchor bolt right here in front of the door, I just have to know which side of the foundation I'm on, and then I just also have to know which number of the anchor bolt I want to get. So in order to do that, all I do is I go 1 for the edge or the side, colon, and then I go ahead and type in number 2, which is the number 2 anchor bolt. Now if I hit update on this, you'll see that that has now disappeared. And so now it's keeping track of which anchor bolts to remove. Okay, and so likewise, I think we're going to go ahead and remove that number 3 as well. So you can enter more, right? And you can do multiple edges. It doesn't just have to be edge number 1. So I'm going to go ahead and put comma, and then I'm going to go ahead and put 1 again for the edge, and then 3. And it doesn't matter if it's 1, colon 2, comma 1, colon 3, or vice versa. You can do 1, colon 3. You can put the third anchor bolt first. It doesn't really matter. So we'll go ahead and update that. Okay, so now you can see that we've gotten rid of those 2 offending anchor bolts. And just to show you that you can basically remove any one of these anchor bolts in this whole assembly, let's take a look at this edge number 2 here, and we're going to get rid of the one right in the center, just to show how that's done. So we got 2, 1, 2, 3. So we'll just put another comma here. We'll put 2, and we'll put the third anchor bolt. Okay, and so we hit update on that. And you'll notice the anchor bolt is gone. Okay, so now you might ask, well, wait a second. I want an anchor bolt right next to the king stud and trimmer stud right here, and likewise on this other side. There's some rules about that sort of thing. So what you can do is, again, you come down here, put in the edge of where you want that anchor bolt, put the colon in, and then what you want to do is you want to put a measurement measured from the 0 point, or the left-hand side of the wall, or edge, I guess, in this case. So basically we're measuring from this corner of this foundation over. And you can see I'm probably if I want to get that close, probably about 2 foot 6 inches. So what's that, 30 inches? And then I'm going to go ahead and enter the other one in as well. And I don't know what that is off the top here, but if I look at my grid lines, I can quickly see that I've got 12 feet, 13 feet, let's just say 13, 6, that's probably about right. Let me just do the math on that real quick. Wait a second, so that's 156 plus 6. And that puts us at 162 inches. Okay, so let's try that. All right, so there we go. So that should give us the 2 anchor bolts that we desire. We go ahead and update that assembly, and now we can see that we've got them there. Now, they're a little close, so I'm just going to go ahead and shift those over. I'm going to shift that one over 1 inch, and I'm going to shift, no, I want to shift that one actually back 1 inch, right? So I'm going to just fine-tuning things a little bit here. So we've shifted that 1 inch back that way, and we've shifted this one 1 inch that way. All right. So now, as you can see, we can totally customize where those anchor bolts all end up. And that is a huge step forward, because previously we could never do this. And so now you have this ability. This is a slab-on-grade, and again, you can do it for any one of the edges. Now, you can also do this for rectangular shaped slab-on-grades, but it's a little bit different. And I'm not going to go through the whole process right now, just because I don't want to make this video too long. But basically, if you do a rectangular slab-on-grade, let's just go ahead and draw one real quick here. And I'm going to do a rectangle. Okay, so let's just put one right here. Okay, so the one thing to notice about a rectangle is that it doesn't matter. Okay, so basically, let me get this straight. We've got this rectangle, and we went around counterclockwise. Now, if you go around clockwise, if I remember right, the numbering will be different. So the 1 will start, in the front, of course, I guess, but then you go around the other direction. Now, with the rectangular foundation, it will always be the same. So the front, which is facing, this way with the z-axis, or the x and the y oriented this way, this will be 1. This will be 2 on this edge, and then 3, and then 4. So anyways, you just need to remember that, and then you can figure out how to mess with your anchor bolts. But let's just do one just to show you here. So I'm going to add, actually I'm going to remove number 2 here on the front face. All right, so there we go. Okay. Okay, and so last but not least, I just wanted to show you guys the polyline stem wall tool, which essentially has the same feature now. When you first draw the polyline stem wall, you'll notice that there is no option to do that. So what you basically need to do is edit edit the stem wall once you create it, right? Which typically is what happens anyways, because you don't really know which ones you want to remove right away. So let's go ahead and just hit enter. We've got that. Okay, so now, and notice I've got those hidden lines turned off. Let me just turn those on real quick. So that's right here. Hide edges. Let's make that normal. Okay. All right, so similar to the, if you go down here to the anchor bolts, very similar. The only thing is now you just need to know where your start point is, and if you click into this wall and you grab one of those anchor bolts, you'll notice it's anchor bolt 1-3, so we know that that's the first edge or first wall, so or first segment, I guess. So it's 1, 2, and then 3. Okay. So again, we can do the same thing. Just to show you real quick, we're going to remove number 2 here in the middle of that stem wall. And then I'm going to go ahead and add one, let's say it's 60 inches. And again, you can do as many as you like. You just need to delineate them by commas. So for instance, I want to add another one. Let's add one, say at 120 inches. And again, we're measured from the start of that stem wall, which is this left-hand side. All right, so that's pretty much it, I think. As you can see, it gives you a lot of flexibility now with your anchor bolts. You can just position them kind of wherever you need to position them. And hopefully this is helpful to a lot of people that were having issues with the anchor bolts, you know, landing in the middle of doorways, garage doors, that sort of thing. Or just needing to add additional anchor bolts at certain, you know, high stress points or other issues, you know, I'm sure your inspectors will tell you where they want more anchor bolts. So, all right, guys, again, thank you. This update, of course, was user-driven, and feedback from you guys is always valuable to me. So, again, email me, call me, send me whatever you've got, and I will do my best to make it happen. So, once again, thank you. We'll talk to you guys later.